What's going on, peeps? Welcome back. This is End Time, and you're at Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. Well, as promised, if you saw the previous podcast episode 92, I know I said 91, but it actually was 92. I just generalized and shared with you guys a couple of the experiences I've had in 2024 with gaming. If you want to go back, go check that out. Just a chat all over the place. Spoke about VR, some simming, retro gaming, current gaming, backlog, Steam collection, family sharing. That was the video. So go check it out. This is just a place where we just chill and chat and speak about gaming in general. And today I want to jump right into it and speak to you about my current experience with the PlayStation VR2 headset and my setup yesterday. Now, I'm going to be clear so you guys don't waste any time and I don't waste your time. This video right here, I'm not going to show you how to set it up. There's 100,000 million videos out there that are all going to give you their experiences. Some are going to tell you it sucks. Others are going to tell you it was easy peasy. My experience took me about 90 minutes, about an hour and a half from beginning to end to set it up. That was my experience. And I like to tinker. Okay. That's the first thing that I want you to know and that you have to be ready for. Because if your experience is not smooth, what I mean by that is not a plug and play experience, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to give up. And then you are going to miss out, I think, on having a decent headset that you can use not only on your PlayStation 5, but also on your PC. So let me get right to it. I'm going to share a couple of things that you need to consider. Okay. I'm going to talk you through this process so you can use this podcast, this video as a reference. But I want to talk about things that maybe others don't share. Number one, and I'm not going to enumerate them, but to start at the beginning, this headset that I got on right now, this is attached to my mixer that is right off to my right side here. And one of the things that you need to consider before setting anything up, any of your headsets, excuse me, especially with the PlayStation VR2, is where are you going to game and how are you going to game? Are you primarily going to be sitting, standing, or a combination of both? So make sure that you have an area that's clear, that gives you options, all right? Whether you're going to sit and play, or you feel like you want to stand. Even if you stand in a certain area and you create that boundary around you, make sure that is spacious, make sure that is clear, make sure that when you expand. What I like to do is I like to expand my arms out to the sides, sitting and standing. And if my hands are touching, or even the tips of my fingers are touching anything on the periphery, then I know that I need to adjust my spacing. Okay. So, and I do it in this seat right here that I'm sitting in right now. When I do my gaming, sitting, I will rotate this chair 360 degrees. How am I able to do that with a headset with a wire? I have a pulley system. I actually have two pulley systems, and I'll talk about that on another video because there's a lot that I want to share with you guys, but I want to keep this focused. So being on a pulley system is great. And especially I'm going to show you the PSVR headset. Consider this. This is it right here, right? This cable, you cannot detach it from here. This is wired in there. So this is going to get all twisted up and all that other business. But you see how if I put this on my head, it's going to be on my left side. Right here. It's going to be on my left side. So you're viewing this video and it's on my left side. This is my left. Okay. If I put this here, this cable currently, the way I'm holding it now, is going to run across my body because my PC is on my desk, is on my right side. And yeah, and this is going to be a problem. So I have to situate myself when I'm playing to face that way so that my cable is not in the way. Now, mind you, again, I said I have a pulley system, so I'm going to be rigging this up to the pulley on my ceiling so that I can pretty much sit wherever I want to sit. But that's something that you have to consider. You cannot remove this cable, and you want to protect this cable from getting twisted up, snagged, pulled, the whole 9 yards, because if this breaks, I'm sorry, you're asked out. So that's the first thing I would consider, right? Before you hook up anything, any of your peripherals and all that, and I'm gonna show you the peripherals that I got to hook it up to the PC. Do yourself a favor, turn on your PC, and once you turn on your PC, update your drivers. Okay, if you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, I don't know. I can't help you. Update your drivers. Go and do your Windows update and just update the version of Windows that you have. Most people I think are probably running Windows 11 at this point. Now, I'm not going to say that my experience with Windows has been amazing and whatnot. Sometimes you update stuff and stuff breaks and stuff just doesn't work. But what I find is whenever I'm going to attach a headset, I've done it with the MetaQuest 3, I've done it with the Crystal Light, I did it with the PSVR2 headset. Update your drivers, okay? And if you don't have an idea, I'm going to talk you through it, right? Let me see if I can share my second screen, because this would be great for me to show you. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share. There it is. Okay, that's my second screen. You want to go into your device manager. Look at me. I'm clicking in on the video like it's gonna work. So I'm just gonna click on that Windows sign there. Let me see. Maybe I could do it over here and it'll show. Yeah, there you go. So go in there in your search. I'm running Windows 11. Just type in device, and you should see it comes up device manager. Hit enter. And let me bring this window over here because I don't know why it opened over there so you can see it. Device manager. I'm gonna blow it up here. Now this might look tiny on your screen, but what you're looking for, these are all the devices that are connected one way, shape, or form to your computer. And a lot of times, we just go on about our business, turn on our PC, do our gaming, everything's great, everything's fine. And then when something's not connecting right, not working right, we don't think about these drivers. Drivers are updated every so often. I don't know. I'm not a PC expert and whatnot. All I know is that you need to update them. Okay. Eventually, you need to update stuff. So I would recommend that you go straight up into where it says Bluetooth, okay? This is really important, guys. I haven't seen this on videos, on other videos. And even when you do the setup to connect your headset, it'll give you troubleshooting options, okay? But sometimes, again, we just want to get right to it. If your computer has built-in Bluetooth, okay? If it has built-in Bluetooth, well, how do I know it has built-in Bluetooth? Well, you have currently, right now, connected wireless devices, wireless headphones, wireless controller, wireless speakers, whatever. You have some sort of Bluetooth connection, okay? And it's probably wired. On my computer, I have an actual antenna that's connected to the back to my motherboard. And so what I did, because I purchased a TP-Link Bluetooth 5.3 specifically for these controllers and this setup that I'm talking about. It's recommended. I didn't want to just go through the process and not have it. So I just decided to purchase it on Amazon and just get what I needed. And so save myself some heartache and pain, and figured if I need it, great. If I don't need it, great. But what I did was, in my particular setup, I went into Bluetooth and I checked my regular Bluetooth connection, and I disabled it. Okay, I disabled my regular connection, and all you got to do is just come into Bluetooth. You go to it, and you see how I just went to one particular one. This is my TP-Link Bluetooth. I'm not gonna do anything with it now because it's connected. But here you can highlight it, and then you right click, and you will see it gives you options: update driver, disable device, uninstall device. It's easy peasy. Just do that. Update the driver. If it's not updated, you'll click it. It'll update it, blah, blah, blah. If not, it'll tell you it has the latest drivers. You're good to go. And if you ever need to completely uninstall it, uninstall it. If you need to disable it, disable it. Here's a pro tip by experience. And in this process that I took 90 minutes to set this up, I had to do it over and over and over and over again until I finally got both of my controllers connected. And that was reboot your computer, restart the computer. Like, I had to restart this computer like 10 times. And I'm probably like understating it there. Just so that things get an opportunity to refresh. Sometimes I would do complete shutdowns. I would just shut the computer down and just let it sit, make sure that it's like completely shut down, nothing's running in the background, nothing went to sleep, everything's closed out, let it sit, and then I came back to it. Okay. Why? Again, I'm not a PC nerd or expert or anything, but it seems to me that when you're installing or updating drivers or installing new hardware into your computer, you need to give it time to register. You need to give it time to like kind of like say, oh, there's a new controller, a new keyboard, a new whatever. In my case, a new headset. Let me adapt to it. Let me do what I need to do now. And computers are a fickle thing, people. Again, if you don't have patience, this is not for you. Just leave the video. I'm happy that you're here. We're 12 minutes in, but if you're not ready to do this and to put some time into it, forget about it. Okay? Just keep walking. You'll see here, I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but I have my PlayStation VR2 Sense controller, L and R. They're in there. Okay. If I ever wanted to go and update their drivers, disable the devices, or uninstall them, this is where I go. I'm showing you this because I actually had them installed, and the very first time I booted up and I went through the process, and you'll see that process when you bring up the PlayStation, you connect everything, blah, 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 the headset. I actually was successful in connecting both controllers. And then later on down the process is where things got messy, and then one controller, only my left controller, would connect, and the right one wasn't even recognized, and I would search for it. So I finally came back to device managers, and what I did was I removed them from here. So I just highlighted it, right clicked, and where it says uninstall, I uninstalled the devices. I uninstalled both of them. And what did I do after that? I rebooted my computer. Okay. I can't stress enough how you need to reboot. By clicking the arrow here, you sort of kind of refresh, but I wanted to show you that because it's important. It's important. You need to know how to get into device manager, how to disable or remove, your devices, uninstall your devices, or update your drivers. That's the way that you make sure that you can do that. Okay. And that's with all your devices and whatnot. Okay. We're going to move from device manager now. I'm going to exit out of here, and you will see on my desktop, where is it? I'm looking for it now. I got so much stuff here. I try to keep it organized, but my PlayStation app was here. You have to listen. If you're gonna connect it to PCVR, your headset, know that it's going to run on Steam. So you have to have your Steam client. I have mine's right up here. Okay, you have to have Steam VR. Okay, and from the Steam client, when you open up Steam and you search for apps, you are going to look for you're going to look for the PlayStation 2 PCVR app. Okay. That's what you need to find. That's what you need to download. You need to have all three of those. Okay. So, what did we say? Update your drivers, make sure your computer's good to go. Notice that I didn't say plug in anything. Don't get ahead of yourself and start plugging in your headset and all that other stuff into your computer and all that. Don't do nothing. Update your drivers, reboot your computer maybe twice just to make sure everything is legit, it's good to go, and then go, and if you don't have it already, upload Steam, your Steam client, and in the Steam app, go and search for PlayStation VR2 is a free app. Okay. And once you have that, then we're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to connect stuff and start working on this stuff. It has a tutorial. It's going to take you through it. But that's where you're going to have to start putting in the work. Here are some of my recommendations. Okay. Make sure that you have the extra peripherals, right, that they recommend. Obviously, if you're going to connect to your PC, you need to get this. All right? This is the official tissue PlayStation, Sony PlayStation VR2 PC adapter. Let me stop sharing my my screen here for a moment. So you guys can, there you go. Okay. This is what you need. If you go on Amazon, it's gonna be hit and miss. You'll find it. It'll come in stock. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't even list it. I've been on the PlayStation site, the official Sony PlayStation site, looking for this thing, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like they don't advertise it. I don't like, they should have it like boom, like right under accessories, right? You would think they would have it there with the controllers and everything. For whatever reason, Sony does not, I don't know, doesn't want to advertise it on their own page, or they make it like, you know, like a Easter egg hunt or something. You gotta look for it. And it's crazy. I happened to come across this. And mind you, this has been out for several months. The moment that PlayStation dropped this, so that we can connect our headsets, it's like they made so little of them and they sold out. And you know what happened, right? A bunch of people out there, I'm not knocking you, but I ain't the one to be taken as a sucker. A bunch of people bought this and they want to flip them on eBay. If you go on eBay, you're going to find them. You'll find them, but they'll be 2-3 times as much. Okay. I paid like $10 extra on Amazon. I think the original price for this is $59.99. I paid $69.99, but it's the official one on Amazon. I wasn't paying no scalper. Nah, man. Sorry. I can wait. All I got is time. So pick this one up. Okay. Pick it up because you will find alternatives. Let's say that. And I see reviews for those copycat boxes. They look exactly like the one from PlayStation. Only thing is they ain't got the PlayStation symbol on it. And it claims to do everything that this one does. Again, I don't know. I'm not a techie. I'm not gonna buy one and compare and whatever. Like, I ain't got no time for that. But I'm not gonna take a chance to frustrate myself. So I just waited. I waited. And in my last video, I talked about the necessity of patience and waiting because we want everything like yesterday. Just wait. Just wait to pick up this peripheral, and you'll have the official one. And trust me, you'll thank me. You'll thank me that you waited. Okay. The next thing you need to know, that box only comes with the adapter, and the adapter has a wire that is built into it, just like I showed you on the headset. So it's not detachable. You can't swap it out. And it's the USB connection. Okay. That and the power cord is all you're gonna get. You're not gonna get included in the box a display port cable. You need a DP, a display port cable that's 1.4 or higher. Read, read in your descriptions if you're purchasing off Amazon or you're going to Best Buys, whatever, and go pick yourself one up that says 1.4 DP display port. Okay, that's capable of that. If you don't get a 1.4 cable, you're gonna be asked out. Don't say I ain't tell you so. I went ahead and got the JSOX. I got a bunch of their cables, USB cables, display port cables. This was like $10. Okay. Don't be cheap. You already purchased a headset that normal price is like $500. If you got it on deep sale like I did for $350 with a game. And I suggest that's the price. That should be the price. But anyways, but another $10, get yourself a display port cable, or you might have some, in your drawer. Like I got 1,000 cables in my drawer, all sort of connections. Like, anyways, whatever. You're gonna need it. All right. So make sure you get that. And then I would say, and all I'm repeating here is what other videos gonna tell you, but I want to show you this bad boy here. The TP-Link Bluetooth 5.3 nano USB. You see that it says UB500? That's the one you need to get. Okay. Now, will you need this? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if you have a direct connection to your motherboard and it'll work that way. For some people, it does. For me, I didn't want to take the risk, and this wasn't expensive either. So I just went ahead and bought it. But this is the one that's recommended, not guaranteed by Sony. That's enough. Man, I can just go off on a tangent. They recommend this, okay? Doesn't mean it's going to work. But you notice it says there it's the 5.3 Bluetooth, blah, blah, blah. But it's the UB500 TP-Link. This is the one you want. Pick it up. If you need it, great. If you don't need it, just return it. That's why I buy through Amazon. I got Amazon Prime. If I don't need something, then I just return it and get my money back. And we good. All right. With this, I'm going to pause for a moment. If you're using this USB connector's little dongle, my people, listen, I haven't heard this on another video. It's in the recommendations in the setup. Okay. When you have to click and open up other web pages and stuff. If you already have dongles, wireless dongles connected to your computer, all right, like I have a wireless keyboard mouse combination here. I have another dongle for my Xbox controller. Okay, I have another dongle connected for my Arctic 7 wireless headset. Listen, this thing I just showed you, this dongle here, and for this connection for the because this is how you're going to connect your controllers. It, in my experience, was fickle as you wouldn't know. I had to literally remove it and separate it from all my other dongles. So I have all I have like 3 dongle connections on top and in the front of my tower that sits right off here to my right. I had to, after a little while, I was troubleshooting. This is when I was in the troubleshooting process. I had to remove it and connect it to the back of my PC in a slot like separate from all other dongles. And it worked. Okay. Again, I don't know why, what interference or whatever it might have been causing, or the port or whatever it is. Like, All my ports on my computer, here's another thing you need to know in case you're a PC enthusiast, but you are not like into PCs, or you haven't like realizes yet. Make sure that you're plugging this dongle specifically, into a 3.0 USB port. Okay, it is necessary. You look at your setup, look at your slots available to you on your computer, and make sure that where you're inserting this particular dongle, it needs to be in a 3.0 USB slot. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else about that. It's not going to work in another one. At least that's what I'm told. Okay, 3.0. It has to be 3.0. Okay. Um, what's another thing I want to talk about here? When you go through your setup, if you hit a wall, um, let me just pause here for a moment. Before you uh open your PlayStation app, open up Steam first. Okay. Open Steam, and then open your PlayStation app. And at this point, when you're ready to do that, uh, this is when you should have all your connections already like ready to go. Okay. That means have your display port attached to the box, your power cord in its outlet socket. Make sure that is powered on. Your connection from your box converter for your PlayStation adapter into the correct USB port 3.0 connected there. Make sure that all those connections are snug, that there's nothing loose, and make sure that everything is on, powered on, and whatnot. And your headset at this point should be connected. Okay. Once that's connected, and you have your controllers nearby and in hand, it's going to take you through the process. Okay. And it's not rocket science. PlayStation actually does a good job at walking you through it. The frustrating part about it, guys, is when it doesn't work. When you are trying to sync the controls and it reads one and it doesn't read the other one. And then you're here scratching your head and you're saying to yourself, why is it reading one and not the other? It's finding one and not the other. What I found was, and I should have said this in the beginning as well as part of the pre-setup, make sure your controllers are charged up, please. The last thing you want is during this setup that your controllers die, and then you're trying to like sync them and they turn on for like a split second, and then you're gonna be like banging your head against the table saying to yourself, why are my controllers not syncing? They're probably just dead. So make sure that they're fully charged before you do anything. All right. Your controllers need to be charged. Um, hey, I mean, I'm trying to cover here everything, or at least my experience. Um, when you connect, guys, when you go through the steps, sometimes it's going to appear like it locked up, especially when you are successful in connecting your controllers. When you connect your controllers, you'll see check marks. It'll indicate that they are connected. And then it'll tell you to click the button so that it can set up your PlayStation headset. Okay. And you'll click it. And by this time, you'll have Steam up, you'll have your PlayStation up app running, and the Steam VR client will be open as well. When you click on that final, you're almost there. It might freeze. Your mouse might stop working. Like you're gonna be moving it around and looking for it to move, or be patient. Just wait. You might get a system error that says Steam VR encountered an error or whatever. Restart it. Restart Steam VR. Okay. And that's what the majority of my experience was. It was trying to get Steam Steam VR and the PlayStation app to register my headset and do its magic behind the scenes so that things would work nicely together. Here's another thing. You have to go into your Steam VR client and you have to open up your tools in there. And when you open up your tools in there, you have to make sure that you are running the Steam XR. Okay? I say that because if you have other headsets, like I have the MetaQuest 3 that's running on my PC, I run it uh I hardly run it wirelessly. I actually connect it to my PC. Um, I also have my Crystal Light, which is behind me. We'll talk about that another day. That one is strictly PC VR, so it's connected to my computer. Another tip: disconnect your other headsets. Okay, don't have all three or all two or whatever. Just disconnect those headsets, right? Because one of the errors that I got hooking this up was that it didn't recognize the display port. It gave me the error message saying, check your graphics card. I have a 4080. Okay. I know it wasn't my graphics card. Check to make sure that your cable, your display port cable is 1.4, or plug it into a slot on your graphics card that supports 1.4. Dude, I was sure my cable is 1.4. I'm running a 4080. I have 3 display port options on that card. So all I did was, I unplugged and switched out my monitor connections and tried it on every display port. It kept giving me the same response. I even changed the cable. I said, let me change the cable and whatnot. Change the cable. Nothing worked until until I went into my Steam VR client and specifically into the tools management, and I made sure that it was running the correct OpenXR uh, um, tool, okay? Because it was defaulted to Pimax, because that's what I run. I run my Pimax Crystal Light on it. So it kept giving me an error. It wasn't recognizing the PlayStation VR2 headset. So you got to go in there. You got to make sure that you have enabled the appropriate XR. Okay. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, guys, go look up videos that will illustrate this and show you this. I'm just giving you a verbal kind of walkthrough. Okay, things for you to consider, things that sometimes are explained in other videos, and in other videos they're not. But maybe something that I say here might be something that you haven't considered, and you'll go find a video that illustrates it and takes you step by step in that particular thing. Leave in the comments below if you see this video or hear me talking and all these things that I've said you've heard before, you've encountered or have been helpful, or you need me to go through it and show it to you. I'll be more than happy to make a video and open up the options and all that. I just didn't want to do that now because I wanted to get all of this that's now fresh in my head and in my experience from yesterday. That took me, again, 90 minutes, an hour and a half to get this set up and just share it with you. Just raw experience so that you guys know more or less what you're going to be encountering. I'm thinking here as I'm looking over to the time now, we're 35 minutes deep into this video. Thank you for being here. You know what to do. If you enjoy the content, if this is helpful, just share it with other people, and let me know in the comments below. I'm trying to think here if I missed anything from yesterday. Okay, once it was set up, once I had it rocking and rolling, it connected, it created my play area, the whole boundaries, everything just like on the PlayStation. I will tell you this: the first game that I loaded up was Half-Life Alyx, and it looked great. It looked great. Now, it wasn't as clear as me playing it on my Crystal Light, the same game. But man, it looked good. It looked really, really good. And you have to figure, this is not a thing of, I hate when I see videos out here like, which is the best headset. You know what? You have to consider, what games are you playing? Like, before I got the Crystal Light, that's a strictly PC VR headset that is driven by my graphics card. As a matter of fact, that's another thing I need to put out here. Go into your control panel for your graphics card and make sure that you have the appropriate software that you're running, your games and all that stuff that you're going to play, to make sure that it is your graphics card settings that is the default. Okay. And that you're actually using your graphics card. I know that that sounds stupid. I made that that mistake where I was running some of my games, and I wasn't even using the graphics card. And I was wondering, well, how come this looks so good when I see YouTube videos and whatnot, but on my computer that I'm running a 4080, and I should be blowing this thing out the water, it should be looking like reality. It looks blurry. It sucks. It's stalling. And it was because I did not have my graphics card as the global default to the games that I was running. Okay, not all of them, but some of them. Once I took care of that by going into the control panel and making sure I had those games, if they weren't already added or available, to search, add, and use the global setting so that it's running using my graphics card, um I would have still been in the same circumstance. So do that. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I'll be more than happy to do another video and show you where to go, and give you an idea of what that looks like. It's not rocket science, okay? But these are just little tidbits here that we're sharing. So once everything is set up and once I had it running, I throw Half-Life Alyx on. Amazing. Amazing. I had no problems with tracking. My controllers tracked just fine. Everything looked beautiful. You're using a headset that, although it has Fresnel lenses in it, um they're OLED panels. So I could immediately tell, and I'm an OLED snob. Like, I love my LG OLED. I can't do anything but OLED. I pay the extra money, but I keep my TV for several years. But there's nothing like an OLED panel. And so for a game like Half-Life Alyx, you see it. I saw it. Okay. Um, it looked beautiful. Now, I went ahead and jumped on Le Mans Ultimate. It's a sim racing game. I jumped in my rig, in my motion rig back here, my DOF 3 reality, my DOF H3 uh, motion rig, and it did not look as great. I'm just being nice. It was playable, but it definitely did not look great. And what I'm noticing with the PlayStation VR2 headset, is that for games that are, this is my experience, that have certain type of graphics, I don't want to say like cartoony, but for lack of a better word, games that look more cartoonish in a sense or have deep blacks, it's it's great. Like, I've been having a blast playing um Arizona Sunshine Remake. I've been playing Walkabout Mini Golf. I love that game, the Walkabout Mini Golf. I've had great experiences. The way that it looks is crisp. it's nice, especially when you get in the sweet spot. It has a very small sweet spot eye wise, um, and it looks wonderful. But I will not be using the PlayStation VR to play a game like Le Mans Ultimate. I won't do it. I'll stick to my Crystal Light. It just looks better. It's crisp. It's clear. It doesn't look grainy, which again, this is my experience. I'm not hating on the headset. I think it's a great headset and a great option, but not everything that you run on your PC, uh no matter how high end your computer may be, 4080, 4090, uh some games are just not going to look, they're not going to look as optimized on the PlayStation VR2. They're not, okay, just because of a combination of things. So take that into consideration, okay? If you're playing certain games, try them out. Maybe try them out first on your PlayStation. Get yourself a month subscription of the PlayStation Premium like I did. Go check out some games. They got some good games, and they got Walkabout Golf, they got Walking Dead Saint and Sinners, just to name a few, and check it out. And if you like them on the PlayStation 5, you're gonna love them on Steam. You're gonna love it on the PC VR. It'll be wonderful, and you'll get the extra horsepower depending on your setup and your graphics card. So that's something that you have to consider, and something that I don't hear a lot in videos that I've seen out here in VR. It's not that the VR headsets one is better than the other. It's just that each headset is going to give you a different experience. And so you have to take that into consideration. What are the games that you play? And that's going to play a factor on how it looks in your headset. I'm going to end the video by sharing one more accessory I have here for the PlayStation VR2 headset. I had to reach over to the side. I've been waiting. So these headsets, and this is going to lead into another video when I speak about the Crystal Light and the MetaQuest 3. These headsets, for whatever reason, I've yet to, in my experience, the headsets that I've had, they always need some sort of additional peripheral. Okay. And what I mean by that, to make them more comfortable. And this headset, I got this padding. I don't know if you see it. This is not the original padding. This padding here and the padding back here and this strap. When I purchased this headset, it didn't come with that. And I found, just like many others have already experienced and reported, the headset when it would get sweaty, because you're gonna sweat. Okay, so I always have ceiling fan, a fan next to me. I have a separate AC unit running in my room for when I know I'm gonna be hot and heavy playing games in here, to keep everything cool. When I would sweat, it would slip off my head. Okay. I try to use, and I like to use, I prefer using over the head wireless headphones over my headsets. So I have the Arctic 7s that I love. I love this headset. They're light, they're comfortable, and the sound is great. Okay. And the battery life is like forever. I don't remember the last time I charged these things. I put them across my headset, and just, to try to keep the headset in place. With the PlayStation VR 2 headset, because of the lenses, the sweet spot is small. Okay. And the sweet spot, what I mean by that is, when you put them on, when you look through the lens, you'll find the spot according to your IPD, how your eyes are situated in your head. You're going to find that spot where you're going to see everything clear. If you're off by a little bit, things are going to look blurry. Okay. And so it's important to get that sweet spot. Take your time when you're not just gonna throw on the headset and the first time you get it, it's there and it's gonna stay there. Okay. It's gonna take several uses and you'll find yourself playing and you'll find yourself adjusting it. And one of the things that I quickly discovered was the necessity to get this thing. And I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting paid for this. Come out of my own money, but check that out. That's the Globular Cluster CMP2. Take a moment because this thing here is worth your money. And if you want to have a better than great experience, you need this. Okay. It even says it advertised there: sweet spot keeper, weight balancer, soft forehead pad, anti-slip rear pad. This thing is legit. Now, mind you, there might be others out there. I did my research, and time and time and time and time again, this is what was recommended. And I'm so glad that I picked this up. And guys, this is worth your money. If you want a great experience, you don't want to be fumbling around, messing around when your headset gets sweaty and it starts slipping and sliding all over your head. You want to get this. Get it, put it on your headset, follow the instructions. Okay. Always follow the instructions. Don't get ahead of yourself. It comes with various different types of paddings. You saw the one I have on there's like the cloth one. It comes with other pads in there. It comes with the stick to pry the original headset padding, and all the instructions. It's all there. Please do yourself a favor and pick that up. Pick it up. You won't stop thanking me. Okay. I'm actually thanking myself that I got that, and I didn't cheap out and got it. I know by experience because I had to do the same thing with the MetaQuest and get a strap that goes across my head to take the pressure off, because these headsets, they like to rest on the bridge of your nose, and I wear glasses, and so that pressure, when you play, that headset continues to drop down, and it's going to rest on the bridge of your nose, and you're going to feel it. And that discomfort is just, it ruins your game experience, because then you're constantly moving your headset up and trying to get that pressure off, and it's going to slide right back down. This eliminates that. Okay. It eliminates that whole process of you having to fumble around with it. So go ahead, do that. I'll talk about those accessories. I'll talk about the one I got for the MetaQuest 3 as well, and also for the Crystal Light, because once I experienced it, I knew it was a must. All right, guys, this video is pretty lengthy. I hope that in what I've shared with you regarding the PSVR2 has been helpful. If you have any sort of tips, tricks in your experience of setting the PSVR2 headset for your PC, leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat. Maybe you're going to help somebody else. That would be tremendous. If you want me to make a more in-depth video about anything that I spoke about, put it in the comments. I'll consider it. I can't promise that I will do it. I want to make a bunch of other videos regarding the other headsets and everything else that I've talked about previously. But I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Be good, do good, and as always, keep your gaming and your life drama free. I'll catch you on the next one, peeps. Later.